what's the deal with this I'm not a robot test? Because you're telling me that bots can generate images like these, generate recipe ideas like these, and write great lyrics for Just David channel song. Hey, let's play the game where hearts ignite and passions flame. Hey, the world's in view. With Just David, it's all for you. But whenever I'm logging into a website, I get slapped by this tick box. And my mind goes, why do I have to solve this? Can a bot also pass this? Why is this thing here? But before I can look into the answers, I always solve it with some frustration and move ahead. But enough is enough. I've decided to look into it, and what I've found is that the story actually began years before. In the late 90s, Alta Vista was the most used search engine, and it started facing a huge spam problem. Many people were submitting spam URLs into their library, but solving this problem is easy. You just have to create a test to distinguish between a human and a bot. But that test should be something that even the dumbest of the dumbest humans could solve, but a bot can't. So they came up with adding a question that had distorted letters or numbers. At that time, robots weren't good enough that they could identify these characters, but humans, they could. At least humans with good eyesight. They call this test CAPTCHA, Completely Automated Public. It's completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. There was no chance in hell that I could have just remembered all of that. Anyways, CAPTCHA tests actually worked in the beginning, and they were able to reduce those bot users on the website. But until this point, my only question for this video, why can a robot also pass this test, is still unanswered. Because weren't bots getting good enough to pass these tests? And I was right. Bot makers started training their bots to solve these tests. And to stay ahead of these bots, CAPTCHA just started getting harder and harder and harder. What the fuck is this? Is this even a word? And also at that time, Google designed an AI software that could possibly solve 98% of the CAPTCHAs, while humans, well, they were only solving 33%. So the thing is that robots can solve these tests, which is kinda opposite of the answers that I was searching for in the beginning. Oh, and there's one more problem. Let's assume you're a bot maker and you want to fill all those social media sites with your bots and spam the comment section with anything you want. By the way, if you really are one and you're watching this video, can you please spam subscribe to Just David and Mr. Beast comment section? I would really appreciate it. Now back to our story. You, the bot maker, can just pay real humans to solve CAPTCHAs for you rather than training your bots to do that.
This works in a way where a bot would fill all the spam details, and when it comes to solving the CAPTCHA, the whole thing gets sent to a real human and he solves it.
And this is a problem because people in low-wage countries used to do that at the rate of 30 cents per thousand CAPTCHAs solved. So for obvious reasons, CAPTCHAs couldn't just keep getting harder to prevent the bots. Someone had to change the rules of the game, which Google did when it introduced
reCAPTCHA version 2 in 2014.
I'm talking about the famous and one and only I'm not a robot tick box. That has caused a lot of pain to a lot of people, including me. This test is different because it's not about clicking the box, but it's actually about how you click that box. Well, that didn't make any sense. Let me explain. When a bot clicks this box, it moves like this, but humans, well, they do some weird stuff with their mouse. So that weirdness is what makes us human, and Google tracks that, although the technical details are kept secret for obvious reasons. But why can't bot makers just train their bots to move in a random way? So I went onto the internet again and started looking out for some answers, and I think I almost found one. Even though I look like one, but I'm not a programming expert. But what I've learned from my research is that, first of all, generating human mouse movements is very hard. If programmers do that, they use something called Bezier curves. Movements like these are much harder to differentiate from real human mouse movements, but only visually. Because if a complex algorithm designed by companies like Google looks closely between the points where the mouse stops, it can find movements that are too smooth and perfect. Because again, humans do some really weird stuff with their mouse, even if it includes solving CAPTCHA upside down. I don't think everyone does that. It's just me. One more thing, and I'm gonna show you this. Let me go to their website. If I click this box, it would ask me to select all the matching images. And I know, you may have seen this already. But the thing is that this test appears when Google wants even more confirmation on you being a human. If you have cleared your browsing history and cookies, there's a pretty good chance that you might see this test. And again, it's not about just selecting all the images. Bots can also be trained to do that. It's to track the way you select these images. And that's why I passed this test, even when I missed like 5% of the bicycle. But here too, we have the same problem. bot makers can just pay real humans to solve captchas for them. The only thing that's changed is price. It's $1 per 1,000 captchas solved. So I guess Google helped the captcha solvers to finally get a pay rise. But can this real human captcha solver problem be solved? Yes, it can be with Google's reCAPTCHA version 3, which is like an invisible captcha. It's constantly tracking the stuff that you search for on the internet. Because a bot would never go on to search something like what to do when you are lonely and depressed, or watch videos like Dave Grohl roasting Taylor Swift on a live show. And if you are a real human solving captchas all day, then Google will track that repetition and flag you as spam. So this reCAPTCHA version 3 is the best version we have to protect ourselves from bad bots on the internet, because they can do stuff like influencing social media discussions and spreading political propagandas and doing fraud and spam. But even after all these efforts with this CAPTCHA, then reCAPTCHA version 2, version 3, internet is still filled 32% with bad bots. I don't know, maybe this video was made by a bot too. Hope you enjoyed it, humans.